5, 4, 3, 2.
Hi, I'm Lucy.
And I'm Kathryn.
And this is the Lake Show Podcast.
Was that good?
Yes.
Okay.
I know you guys were probably expecting another Aaron Izzy episode, but unfortunately they couldn't be here. So you get us.
The next best thing.
Yeah.
Literally.
And we're so excited to talk to you guys today. We have so much to chat about.
We're big chatters.
This is all we do in our free time, actually.
We sit and chat, so.
A lot of sitting and chatting.
Lucy, what should the fans know about you?
Well, I guess I can give a little backstory on my life.
Yeah.
I was born on a cold November day. Just kidding. I'm from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. I grew up there, and I have one older brother and one older sister, both of whom played lacrosse in college. My brother played at Georgetown University, and my sister played at Arizona State University. So I was always the youngest. I'm 4 years behind my sister, so I just really got to watch them growing up and everything that they experienced and stuff.
Me and you have the same family tree.
Yeah.
Our siblings
yeah,
are
we're
all
both the youngest.
And we're the youngest.
And our brothers are very similar.
Yeah. They would be good friends.
Mm-hmm. And our sisters. Yeah, that's why we're so alike.
Yeah, totally.
But I really grew up in a lacrosse family. My dad is also a big lacrosse man. He played at Brown. He started a club, 3D Lacrosse, when I was young. And so I kind of got to watch that all evolve, and I was really a part of like all the tournaments and stuff. I was that little girl running around the whole time.
Were you a ball girl? I could picture. Wait, they don't have those in lacrosse.
No. I was more the golf cart girl. I would sit in random trainers' golf carts and like just walk around and watch all the lacrosse happening around me. Yeah. I was like unattended. I was like
free range.
I was free range during tournaments.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome. And then so my dad was always in the lacrosse world. Big conversation at the dinner table, always lacrosse, because my mom also is the best mom and loves watching her daughters play and Brett and son play, and she played sports in college too. And so
what did she play in college?
She played ice hockey at Hamilton.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I
Well, she was a figure skater growing up.
Oh, I knew that part.
And then hurt her back, so then when she got to college, they were like, hey, you can skate, come join the team. And she was like, hell yeah. Yeah. So she's an icon too. Yeah. And she also helped my dad with all of his businesses and stuff, so she was always in the lacrosse world too. She loves it too. So, yeah. Where was I?
You were running free range at the lacrosse tournament.
Yeah. So yeah, that was like when I was little. I started playing lacrosse myself when I was in 3rd grade. I originally was a big soccer girl. I was the soccer goalie and refused to play lacrosse for a little bit because I was like, I want to be different, And then
We've all been there.
One day we were on our way to soccer practice and I was like, hey Mom, I think I want to quit and play lacrosse. And she was like, yes. She called my dad immediately, like, she's playing lacrosse. So then they got me on the team and I was really bad. So then they moved me down to the younger age group at first. And then
humble beginnings.
Yeah, humble beginnings in 3rd grade.
I can picture you just like running around, not knowing what's going on and just.
And I also like was really scared to have the ball. That was a problem of mine because in soccer, they were like pass, 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 pass. So like whenever I was like trying to pass too much in lacrosse. I like wouldn't score. I wouldn't shoot. And yeah, whatever. Anyways.
Where were you?
And I also did dance growing up. You were a gymnastics girl, so you get that. I was like always the type of kid who was doing like a million different things. I had theater before school, lacrosse Tuesdays, Thursdays, dance Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, choir, like everything that you could be involved in. I was like, sign me up.
Because you love being a child.
Yes.
That all roots back to that.
Yeah. And I just liked being involved with people. Like I just wanted to do all the after school activities. And then I went to high school at Thunder Ridge High School. Lacrosse isn't huge in Colorado, so we actually were combined with another high school to like make one girls lacrosse team, which was really cool. I got to meet like a lot of different people. I also played field hockey in high school and basketball my senior year, which is fun. And then my junior year of this is also weird. I played for Triple H in Philadelphia. That was my club team for high school. So I didn't actually play for any Colorado club team because I would go up to Canada in the summers and play box lacrosse, and so it was closer to Philly than to play in like on a Colorado team, so I could go down for tournaments pretty easily, like a drive, and they were just better, and I thought I had a better shot of coming to a good school if I played for them. So yeah, so I got to play for Colleen McGarity, and
you're in high school.
I'm in high school, yeah. So then junior year, I committed to Northwestern, best day ever. And then about a year, or then that winter, fall or spring, COVID hit, obviously. And my brother and sister were both seniors in college at the time. Seniors? Yeah, maybe juniors. And so I kind of saw them like wanting to come back for a fifth year and like knowing that they had that opportunity. And I kind of felt like I could see more of a perspective on what that's COVID years was going to do to teams and like how big they were going to be, obviously, like by the time I was going to be a freshman. And also I just have always really loved to travel, and I really wanted to take a year off for myself and get to travel, get to work on my lacrosse, and then come in a year later. And so I originally committed with the class of the 21s, so I was really close with all of them, and then I was like, hey, sorry, I'm actually going to be a 22 now. And they were like, what? But they actually knew, apparently. I didn't know this until later. All of them, Kelly told all of them that.
I think she told my class.
Yeah, she told everybody.
Like,
I thought I was keeping this big secret from everybody, and I was like, I'm not actually going to be with them. But Kelly had already told everyone, and then I finally texted like months later that I was going to be in a different class, and they were like, yeah, we know. But I think since being in college, I really, really have appreciated it. It's been the best decision. For a lot of different reasons, but also one of them being I'm still really close with the class above me now, and I feel like I can still turn to them, and we had a really special connection from the start. So yeah, and then I went on my gap year, and then I was a freshman last year and on the 2023 team, which was incredible. Yeah. And where I met Kathryn. So Kathryn, tell us about your life story.
Totally, Lucy. Okay, I was born in New York. I'm from New York, Pearl River. It's a small town just outside New York City. Or
is it New Jersey?
Okay, it's like...
That's some controversy.
It's a little bit of controversy, it's not really. My address says New York. It's just on the border of New Jersey, so I'm like a mile from New Jersey, so I sometimes claim, depending on who I'm talking to, I claim different states. So I guess it is.
Sometimes she says Massachusetts.
Yeah, it actually depends fully on the people I'm talking to. But for the most part, I say I'm from New York because, I don't know, I have pride that I'm from New York. But I was born there, lived in the same house my whole life, and grew up, as Lucy mentioned, I have an older brother and an older sister as well, and I am the youngest and watched them play a whole bunch of sports. And I started my sports life in gymnastics, like Lucy was saying, and my family's like a big hockey family, so we started like ice skating when we were 2 years old, and as soon as we could walk, we had skates on, and that was always really fun, because every year my dad would build an ice rink in our backyard, and we would play pickup before school.
My dad did that one time too.
It was really fun.
It was a disaster. It melted, the ice, and we were on a slope, and it all went into my neighbor's backyard and like flooded or something. Oh, I don't know.
That never happened. My dad was really like into leveling the whole thing, and like it was a big.
That's why he should be doing that, and my dad can't be doing that.
It was a big production. We would like brush it off after, and then go to school. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. It was crazy.
Fun.
Yeah, but I did gymnastics, like competitive gymnastics growing up for most of my childhood. That was like my main sport. I played like soccer, softball, like rec leagues here and there, and then I played ice hockey as like my other main sport. But I definitely was like a little gymnast growing up. And then when I was in like 8th grade, I want to say, I made the switch to like hockey was my full-time sport. Because I loved it. I loved being on a team, and gymnastics is very like individual, so it was
intense.
It was very intense and individual. So I loved like being on a team, getting better. Like mistakes were embraced in hockey, and like you learned everything. So I really liked that part of it. But Then I went to high school at a high school like in New Jersey near my town, and it was all girls. It was a school my sister went to. It was a great vibe. Holy Angels, loved it. But
And you had nun teachers, right?
We did have nuns.
We've been
as
over
teachers.
this.
They were awesome though.
Yeah, I
Loved
know.
them to death. But I went to Holy Angels for 2 years. Sorry, my high school gets a little complicated. I went to a lot of different ones. But I went to 2 years of school at home, where I like lived at home, went to school, and that's actually where I started playing lacrosse. My freshman year, I was on, our school actually had a gymnastics team, so I was
Wow.
on the, yeah.
Varsity?
Of course. There was like 7 people on the team. It was great. So I was on gymnastics in the fall, and then my mom was like, you should play another sport in the spring. And my sister, who had also gone to this school, had just graduated, and she had just walked on at Boston College to go and play lacrosse there. And the lacrosse coach, Bill, at my high school, was like, you should play lacrosse, like, yada yada. But I wanted absolutely nothing to do with it because me and my sister were not friends at the time. And I wanted nothing to do with anything that she did. So I was like, I have to be my own person. And my mom was like, you're playing lacrosse. And I was like, fine. So that was the first time I ever picked up a stick. So I was like 14 years old, which is kind of late in the game for a lot of people. But yeah, I ended up making the varsity team. There was only varsity, which was definitely working in my favor. And I just kind of started playing and really like started to love it and had a lot of fun because it was something new. And then I ended up getting recruited my sophomore year of high school to play ice hockey at a boarding school in New Hampshire called Phillips Exeter. Greatest experience of my life. Really kind of shaped my life into what it is now. So I was recruited to play hockey, and when you go to a boarding school, it's often better when you play more than one sport. If you play more than one sport, you're like looked at as a higher chance of getting into the school. So I was a lacrosse and hockey recruit at the time, even though I was like not a lacrosse player like to any means. Our lacrosse team was like really good, and I was not at that level yet. But then I ended up like repeating a year of high school to when I transferred. I kind of did an extra year like Lucy did, where I took all classes for like my junior year, but I was considered like an academic sophomore. So I would have to do a 5th year of high school, which would be my senior year. So I was a sophomore twice.
So cool.
So
Interesting.
So interesting.
So we're
But
both the old girls.
yeah, we are the oldest in our grade by a year. But when I went to Exeter, COVID happened, actually. That year is when COVID happened. So I had just tried out for the varsity team, made varsity by like the skin of my teeth, in my opinion. I was like I don't know, I was so scared that I was going to get cut.
They saw potential.
Hopefully. But then my lacrosse coach was like, have you ever thought about playing lacrosse in college? And I was literally laughed at her. I laughed in her face. And COVID happened like the next week. So at this point, like I had no film of me ever playing lacrosse because lacrosse wasn't my main sport. And I had no like time to get better, you know what I mean? Like we weren't playing, there was no club going on, everything was COVID. So then I started making these clips in my backyard with my dad that are really good.
I've seen them.
They're really
They're
good.
amazing.
And my coach was like, I think you could play lacrosse in college. And I was like, okay, totally.
I think that the people need to know what was in these clips.
So the clips entailed, I would make these like recruiting, like highlight reels.
This is her recruiting video.
This is my recruiting video that I'm like sending to Kelly. And it entails me playing hockey in like an ice rink, me doing gymnastics, me in the backyard with my dad rolling out ground balls. And there's like a fourth,
like
and
a
me in the
sprinting.
gym. There's like, and on a track sprinting. There's not like an ounce of lacrosse in these videos. There's like maybe me holding the
Maybe
stick.
some wall ball?
No.
Oh.
No wall ball. That would have
Okay.
been a red flag. No wall ball. And I would just like me and my dad would literally mess around in the backyard, and he would like film me. And like, if you ever watch these videos, please do not look them up and go watch them. I beg you, please do not watch them. But in the background, you can like hear my dad yelling like, go. Which is just so on brand. But that was like one good thing from COVID, is that because the whole world shut down and no one was playing lacrosse, it gave me a chance to like
Get better.
and for people to see me as someone with potential in order to come here. So then I ended up at Northwestern.
And your coach played here?
Yes.
Your high school coach?
My high school coach, Kristen Marshall, great person, great coach, great all-around being. Yeah, she was like a huge advocate in my recruiting experience here, and props to her that she even like took me on as like a person, but she really believed in me and believed in my abilities and thought that I would be a good fit here, and I think she was
spot on.
Spot on. Really hit the nail on the head there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, what's up next, Lucy? Do we know? I took an extra year. You took an extra year.
Yes.
Tell me about your extra year.
So, yeah, I took a full gap year, so it's a little different from yours, but I graduated high school in 2021, and then I did a gap year travel program with a program called EF Gap Year. This was the best decision I've ever made, I will continue to say. I went to Costa Rica for a month where we did service work, like volunteer work. We got to travel around the entire country, which was so cool. We all piled on the bus every 4 to 5 days and went somewhere new and then had a new thing to do. It was really cool. So many amazing memories.
What countries did you go to?
Yeah, so this is Costa Rica.
That was Costa Rica. Okay.
For the first month. And that's where I really bonded with everyone because we were kind of secluded and everyone goes to bed in Costa Rica at like 8 p.m. So we literally just, that's where we bonded.
Forced interaction.
Yeah, forced interaction. So amazing. I met the best people. So then from there, we went to our travel portion where we just got to be tourists for 2 weeks. And so we went to Spain and France and went around the entire countries, and it was incredible. And Monaco, actually. Oh. And then...
where's Monaco?
In between Spain and France.
Oh,
it's its own little country.
I didn't know that was a
Yeah,
country.
it was cool. And then I did a month in Ireland. That's when I had to say like goodbye to our full main group because we all split off into our separate segments. So then I went to Ireland where I did an internship. It was like a Zoom internship still, so it was awesome. I got to travel so much in the country, and yeah, that was incredible. So then after I got back from my travel trip, I lived in Colorado for a few months, worked at Starbucks. I had brown hair. I was a whole different person.
Lucy with brown hair.
It was insane.
You should put a picture of that, Jack, is Lucy
You
with
can
brown
find it.
hair.
I loved it. I was just like really, after
Colorado.
I was grounded.
You were grounded. With brown hair.
And just like started to get back into working out and stuff. I didn't bring my stick. A lot of people asked me that, did you bring your stick on your travels? And I did not. I didn't have it. So I didn't touch my stick for 3 months, which was like the most in years I had ever gone, obviously. So whatever. I think that was a really good break for me. I think it has made me a better lacrosse player. I think at some point you could be going so hard or, working so hard at it that you kind of lose
sight of the goal.
Yeah, sight of the goal, lose sight of like what type of player I am. So I feel like it was really good for me to come back and be like, I'm the type of player who just loves to be here and loves to be creative with my game and have fun and like not really stick to conventional women's lacrosse. So yeah, I thought it was amazing for me. So then for my third trimester of my gap year, I moved to Philadelphia where I originally played club and lived with my old club coach, Colleen McGarity, who also played here. And so she like helped me get recruited and everything. And I was just really close with her and she let me and my friend live in her home with her and her husband, which is just crazy.
That is actually
We
really
lived there for months and I had an internship.
Did you like share a room with your friend and just...
No, they actually had 2 extra bedrooms.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
It's like you were meant to be there.
I know, seriously. I'm so grateful that she let us do that. It was an incredible opportunity. I got to play really good lacrosse every day and I got to coach for like 3 different teams at the same time and I just fully jumped back into playing every day and it was just what I needed so I could feel prepared and ready to come back to Northwestern or come to Northwestern.
So another thing Lucy and I have in common.
Oh yes. This is what the fans want.
This is what the fans want is we're actually famous on TikTok.
Big TikTok stars.
Stars. Thousands of views.
Yep.
Sorry,
so
we're supposed to be humble.
that's
our keyword this year is humble.
Yeah.
And just went on and said,
but
so
I think that it's just, we're a little delusional.
We are. Absolutely.
But that's why it works so well.
Yeah.
It's because both of us are just fully
invested.
Thinking this is the video that's going to blow up every single time.
Literally. We're like, that's good. That's
and
it
we put
there.
so much effort into it. So for background, last fall we started making TikTok dances. Obviously,
Just for fun?
Yeah, just for fun, like after practice, whatever.
Or
and
like,
then
we made them like the first week of fall. We came here and that was like me and you made TikTok dances.
yeah,
just, like,
it was our thing. That's how we bonded.
Yeah.
As many of you can relate, I'm sure.
Totally. You were actually famous before though.
I have been on TikTok for way too long. You know how Musical.ly was a thing in middle school, and then once we hit like 8th, 9th grade, people deleted
stopped?
it and
You
stopped
didn't.
going on. I didn't. I was still on it every single day, still posted all the time. My friends didn't even have it on their accounts, and then once TikTok became a thing, once Musical.ly went away and they re-downloaded, they were like, Lucy, you've been posting this whole time. Like, it was crazy.
Recently, Lucy's roommate Maya on the field hockey team, shout out Maya, actually posted on her Instagram story a bunch of old
Yeah, so
TikToks
if you
that
scroll
Lucy has
down,
made,
you could
and they are
find my
incredible.
Musical.lys, not
Incredible.
TikToks. Musical.ly,
Yeah.
which is, insane.
But she brought that into our TikToking friendship. And we started making TikToks before every game, except for one. Name that we shall not.
We were away for our very first game ever. We were freshmen.
Yes.
So we
were
didn't
frazzled. There's a lot
no
going
TikTok
on.
was made, unfortunately, for our first game. But then from then on, we decided we would make a TikTok before every game.
Every single game.
So you guys are like the good luck charm.
Completely.
That's what we were trying to imply without saying
Without
it.
saying it, we are the reason we won. Like, just to put it
If
flatly.
we hadn't made a TikTok,
Every single day.
yeah. If you're into superstition,
That would be one right there. We actually aren't superstitious people, though.
I know.
Like, we would
It's
mix
just kind
up
of a
our
fun
hair.
thing.
Like, some people have, like, a thing with hair
Yeah.
being the same every game. We would mix it up. It was just the TikTok. We made a TikTok every game. Actually,
that
there
was
were
more for
some
fun,
games,
too.
Yeah, there were some games we wouldn't post a TikTok.
Yeah.
We would just make one.
Yeah.
Jack, our camera guy, actually filmed one.
Oh, yes.
Where was that? Maryland?
Ohio.
It's Ohio State.
Ohio State. We were like in this courtyard and there were like random people watching us make this.
And
through
they
the
were, like,
windows.
cheering us on.
And they were like, yeah, that was great. And we were like,
We know.
yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, so we actually spent, I feel like we practiced, like as it went on, we realized that we have to practice these elaborate
Yes,
dances
we would
before
get-
the
we
day
would-
of.
yeah,
So we'd have
we
like
did.
night before TikTok time where we had to learn the dances so then it could be in just a couple takes.
Yes.
Are we going too much detail into this?
Probably.
Maybe they
But
like it.
we would do night before TikTok dance prep pregame.
We save
Yeah,
and
like,
send each other anytime we see a potential.
yeah. But I would say ours have gotten like a lot more elaborate since we started. Like we used to start with we used to do like pretty easy ones that were like super popular, and now we found some like niche ones that we've been doing recently.
Kathryn, I will say, shout out Kathryn, she's way better at finding them than I am. She always sends them to me and I'm like, oh, I like this one, I like whatever.
I do. I have a lot of dances on my feet. So
That's a good sign.
yeah. But there's a lot that take a lot of prep. Like the one that we're learning for our next game.
Yeah, it's going to be really
It's
intense.
really good. It's really
We have to
good.
start practicing tonight.
Yeah, a week before.
Anyways, my @ is Lucy Munro. Kathryn.
What did I
Your
say it
TikTok
was?
@
Mine was K Welcher. At K Welcher.
Yep. So you can follow us if you want to see.
Yeah, we have a couple like actual viral ones.
Not viral. It's like 60K.
60K is like pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. But doesn't viral
like-
mean million?
Oh.
No, I
didn't
just
know
made that up.
I would say like as long as you have like random people commenting on
Okay,
them,
yeah.
that counts as viral.
Okay, for those of you watching and not listening, does
No,
Kathryn look
no.
like Caitlin Clark? Because that was the consensus on the last TikTok.
I can't believe you brought this up.
It's a great thing. She's an incredible,
She is an
well-known
incredible athlete.
woman.
Killer woman in sports.
Wait, one more thing. Sorry. I'm just staring at Kathryn's black eye being iridescent in the light right now. And I just want to say, Kathryn got a self-inflicted black eye this week after 2 weeks ago giving me a black
I gave her
eye.
a black eye. In our pre-practice, we weren't even in practice yet, and we were just messing around, and I gave her a black eye by accident. And then
So this is karma.
This is karma coming back.
Gonna make you wanna why you even try. Gonna take you down and left with you to cry. I still don't know how I'll be surprised. And I'm gonna get to rock bottom.
Welcome back.
We know you missed us.
Totally. We're going to answer some questions that fans had asked Izzy and Aaron that they didn't get to, but clearly you want to know our answers more. So,
Here's a Q&A segment.
totally.
What you've all been waiting for.
Okay, first question. What is your favorite memory from freshman year?
So hard, because obviously winning the national championship
That's
was
like
the best moment.
That's the giveaway one, though. Like,
Yeah.
obviously.
So we'll do another one.
Yeah.
Which
A
I
little
know
deeper.
Aaron and Izzy did that too, but just know that was the best day ever. That whole week. So one
I'd
thing
say
about
2
Northwestern
weeks.
that a lot of people don't know is we're on the trimester system. So
yeah.
like when we go to the tournament, we're still in school. A lot of people ended like a month before, but we still have classes, which is amazing for when you win, because then you come back and the entire student body is still here and you get to see everybody, and it's
Yeah.
incredible.
And there was like a welcome parade for us.
Mm-hmm.
That was great, too.
Okay, so other than that, so our first away trip last year, I decided I would take the speaker, because we have a big speaker that we have to bring on the plane, whatever. It's very important. And after that trip, I
Lucy's
realized...
a really good ox. That's why she was the one that was bringing it.
Thank you.
Anyway.
And after that, I realized I loved being the speaker girl, so I decided to fully embrace that role, and I took the speaker every trip, which at times was very hard because, you know,
She had a
people
little
care a lot about the
trouble
music we're
sometimes.
listening to. People care a lot. Just, it could be a hard role, but it was so worth it because I was also roommates with Aaron last year, and so I would bring the speaker into our room, and I just remember forcing Aaron to play games with me, like name that tune. And I'd play on the speaker and like random songs, and she'd have to guess what it is, and vice versa. And I really think it's part of how we bonded so well. I made sure to only play Cardi B before the games for her. It just really was a part of who I was. We'd be sitting in airports. This is also one of my favorite memories, sitting in airports. Like we finally get back to Chicago, waiting for our bags. I just turn on the speaker. I just see what a little music will do to the vibe. It never harms it. It never harms
Some people
it.
get very angry when you do that because other people in the airport are like staring at us.
I never
felt that.
felt anger.
Okay.
I only felt good vibes.
I'm so glad.
And I'm gonna keep rolling with that.
I think you should keep the speaker.
We'll see how it goes.
Okay. I would say my
Yeah, what's your favorite memory?
Yeah,
Sorry.
back to me. My favorite memory would probably just be traveling as a whole. Like, I love away trips. I had an awesome roommate.
The food,
Katie. The food. Oh my God.
the beds,
Why have we-
from
yeah.
coming from a dorm.
Yes.
It's incredible.
You have your own full-size bed. Great roommate. Constantly bonding with teammates. Going to awesome dinners.
Fed so much.
Incredibly.
Every second there's
Yeah.
downtime, you're eating.
Literally. You play the game. There's high energy, high, like, vibes. And
Miss
then-
school.
Yeah, you don't have to go to class. Like, great. It's literally awesome. But Katie and I, my roommate, Katie Shanley, number 13. I don't know why I said her number, actually. It just came out. It just
I love it.
Okay. Anyway, we were roommates, and we had, like, our own little, like, routines in the, like, hotel room, and they were really cute and fun, and we would just, like, lay up at night chatting. Like, we could not stop talking. Like, it was actually a problem. Like, it got to the point where it'd be, like, 1 o'clock in the morning the night before the game, and we'd be like, so, like, what are your hopes and dreams? And it was so bad, but
It's so on brand for you two.
No, it is. We would eventually, that's the thing, we're chatters.
We're chatters.
We're chatters. But eventually we would, like, turn on brown noise and, like, go to sleep. And it was always really good. But maybe I would say that's either my favorite memory or...
I just thought of another one too.
Go.
Our first game inside our home,
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Fieldhouse, indoors. So cool. Like
Chills. I think about it and I get chills.
our I don't even know really who
video?
does it, but our like production throughout the entire day, like the smoke,
Jack who
the
does
lights, the shades down, the cool video that Jack makes, like everything about it just really makes you feel special.
And you also, like, low-key, like, it feels like you're, like, on a stage.
Yeah.
Like, not a stage. Stage is the wrong word, but, like...
But it feels like it's, I think it's really cool for women's sports to have
Yeah.
like such cool like production that
We get
the fans
a DJ.
want to see.
We literally have a DJ at our
Yeah.
games. Like, that's awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Okay. Next question. What is your favorite restaurant in Evanston? We have the same one, actually.
You
I know
can go
exactly what
first.
she's gonna say.
You go.
Taco Diablo, or like
So good.
Five and Dime in general. That like whole chain. You get to order off of any menu.
Yeah, in the entire place. So there's like 3 restaurants in one.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's awesome.
That's also probably my favorite. A little farther away, still in Evanston though, I love the Peckish Pig. Me and my parents go there a lot.
I've never been.
Adam, our trainer, loves the Peckish Pig also.
Oh, but as a grade, our grade goes to this place called Trattoria Demi constantly.
Sunday nights, you'll catch the sophomores at Trattoria Demi.
Yes, for an Italian meal in our sweatpants. It's like a nice restaurant, and we like actually show up like fully in like issued gear.
Wait, and I don't want to like hate on Trattoria Demi
No.
because we love it, but there's the same lady who always works there and hates us.
Hates us.
She gives us
And
the
we're,
meanest
like,
looks.
We're not rude. We're not mean.
We're not loud.
But like every time I call to make the reservation for our like Sunday night dinner, she's literally like,
Can't do 6.
Can't do any of these times. So sorry. But we still go back, no matter how badly they treat us.
'Cause the food
we
is
will
so
go
good.
back because the food is so good.
It's kind of like a fun game now. Is
Yes.
the lady in a good mood tonight?
But she was in a good mood the last time I went, so it was a good day.
Cheers.
But okay, maybe let's go a little deeper.
Nice bridge.
Thanks. So another question is, with our team being so established and having so many veterans, what is your experience on the team like?
This year specifically.
Yeah, this year.
Well, we're sophomores now, which is incredible. It's like really, you don't realize how out of the loop you are as a freshman
It's crazy.
until you're not a freshman and you're like, wow, I had no idea what was going on.
Ever.
But that's part of the reason why it's so awesome.
Yeah, you're so naive.
Yeah.
Everything is great.
But now that I'm a sophomore, I feel like, I mean, obviously it can be really hard sometimes, just trying to like know your role. And I think one thing our team does really well is just our energy around trying to get better every day. So everyone is just there to like see how far they can push themselves every day. I know for me, like I'm really trying to focus on, like I try to make 3 set goals in lacrosse every day before practice. I'm like, today I'm gonna do this, this, and this. Like simple things, like I'm gonna throw 2 underhand passes or something like that. And just like making sure that I'm still thinking about how I can be creative and like how I can step into a role on the field, while also not focusing on stuff I can't control. Because I think how you play in practice and like your mindset going into that is super controllable.
Definitely.
So, and also just being a good example for all the freshmen coming in too, because obviously it's hard for them too because they're coming into such an experienced team. So just making sure that we're keeping in touch with the freshmen, like this season is going to be so fun. It's however fun you make it. Let's have good vibes. Like our energy matters on the sideline. Our energy matters when you step on the field. Like let's really embrace our role.
Yeah, and I think our coaching staff as a whole does a really good job of like emphasizing that your role is your role and every role is as important as the next person. So like Izzy and Aaron are like stars, but their role is just as important as like someone standing on the sideline cheering them on. So the fact that our coaching staff is so behind that and really enforces that mentality of like it doesn't matter if you're on the field because everything that you do matters. And like when you're on scout, like say you're on the sideline and you're on scout, like you're pushing our team to get better every single day, and like that's making our starters get better, which is making our whole team like rise up to a new level, which is super awesome. And like just focusing on that like 1% better every day that you're talking about, and like channeling your energy towards those achievable goals that don't necessarily relate to like winning the game or being on the field.
Minutes. Yeah.
It doesn't matter because you're just as important wherever you are.
Yeah.
'Cause we're all here. Like our coaches believed in us enough to get us here that it like we're worth it enough.
And I feel like all of our girls who are veterans are really good at vocalizing that too. I mean, as a freshman, there were constantly people being like, "Thank you guys on Scout so much. Like you guys helped us be the better defense in this game.
Yeah.
And that really means a lot.
I remember Izzy coming up to me after we played BC. I actually was my sister in Scout in our BC game, like pregame Scout. And smart for Kelly, like who's better
Yeah.
at like
Being Melanie Welch than you.
than her own blood, you know. But I was my sister in Scout, and Izzy after the game came up to me and literally was like, I think you played Scout of your sister better than your sister actually played.
She's
And
going to
it was
hate that
like,
you said that.
Oh, I know. Well, my sister was on a podcast and called my brother a narp one time, and he never lived it down. So this is for like karma.
God.
But my sister, I mean, Izzy was like, she came up to me and said that, and like that meant so much to me, more than just like being better than my sister, but like that she like understood the role that I had in her being able to execute well in the game and things like that. Like as you're talking about like the veterans and like them enforcing the role, like our team doesn't have captains. It doesn't see like grades really, if that makes sense. Like last year, the freshmen and like Izzy, Aaron, and like some of the other like seniors and fifth years would hang out like all together. Like it was never like, oh, like super segregated by grade, which I think helped our like culture in general of like we're a full team, and we were never like looking in at such like a hierarchy of like, well, the starters are separate from the non-starters and the upperclassmen are separate from the underclassmen, and that brought us all back together of like.
And shout out to all of the older girls, because
Yeah.
I think they really were intentional in making that
Yeah.
happen.
Definitely.
And it made such
awesome.
a difference and made our year like incredible. And that's just what we're trying to do now.
Yeah.
As supportive sophomores, I like to call us.
Supportive sophomores, I like that. Totally. Okay.
I've definitely said that before.
You have. Okay, next question. What is the funniest team story that you can think of?
First thing that comes into my head, post-game debrief, which is just a meeting that we have after every game. Kelly would like to give out a money chain.
Which was like a good play, either, was it just from the games?
No, which is also another thing about the Scout.
Yeah.
Kelly, after the games, would give out the money chain to anybody who was like, you played really good Scout and that helped the team win this weekend, or...
No, but it was specific clips. She would like clip specific money clips that were like
Yeah, the
super
money play.
You know, it was like a money play.
So it'd be like either a Scout clip or a clip from the game or a really good ground ball.
Yeah.
Or, wait, did she put a Selly in there one time? I think she might have put Meg Selly.
She did put Meg Selly.
On
Oh
the
my
sideline.
God. I know what my favorite memory of freshman year
What?
was. Sorry. To go back to that question, you have to finish your story first.
Okay. So anyway, she would give the money chain out, and so like next time we were going to debrief, you had to give the money chain back, obviously, because we only had so many.
There was 3.
There were 3. And Hannah G lost her money chain, or like brought it home and didn't bring it back, and so she was kind of freaking out for no reason. But she was like, guys, like I don't know what to do, like I don't have the money chain, I'll just bring in $1. So she walks into the office or into
drops
the
a
meeting,
$1.
puts $1, and like, but secretly. So like Kelly didn't know who forgot the money chain. So Kelly goes, oh, we're missing a money chain. Who has it? And Hannah goes, I lost the money chain. And then all of a sudden, chain reaction, everyone on the team, no,
Standing
I
up.
lost the money chain. No, I lost the money chain.
Awesome.
And we all stood up, and it was just a very empowering moment. We all lost the money chain. Hannah
also-
still talks about
Still
it and
reference
appreciates
that. We literally referenced that today.
And if
during-
anyone does anything like bad or like
Yeah.
forgets anything, we're like, no, I forgot it. Or, no,
Yeah.
It's just a thing.
It's awesome. But
Good laughs.
good laughs. My
Because Kelly was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
Sorry.
she had no cares about it, and Hannah was like freaking out, but it was great.
Tell me your story.
Okay, I came up with a better, funniest story.
I'm so
or
excited to hear.
Favorite story. You're gonna know this story actually.
Wait, this is favorite, not funniest.
It could be both.
Okay.
It's actually probably a mixture of both. So every day, like every like walkthrough before the game, you know what I'm about to say. Every walkthrough before the game, we do a. I told you know. We do a, what are they called? Shooting comp. It's a shooting comp. And I'm a defender, which shooting comps are not only made for people on attack, like they're like random things that Scotty, our coach, comes up with. That,
Sometimes he'll throw balls from like the
from
facility
the
down
roof
to the
of our
field from the
facility.
roof.
Or like it'll be like baseball with a lacrosse stick. Like it is not actual shots a lot of the time. It's
Fun
just
little
a fun,
games.
fun little game, and like you win a belt at the end if you win that shooting comp that week. So it is Final Four weekend. Walk through before the national championship game. Final shooting
UNC.
comp of the year in the UNC indoor. And we're just there. And this final, at the time, I did not know this, but apparently the last shooting comp is rigged so that an upperclassman wins it because they're going to be graduating.
A senior
wins it because they're going to be graduating. So the shooting comp was like Scotty ripping a ground ball. The freshmen all went, the sophomores all went, and then the juniors all went. And as you went through, like for the freshman, he was ripping it as hard. He was literally like shooting it at you.
Shooting the ground ball.
Shooting the ground balls at you. But then by the time it was a senior, it was like literally like rolling it out. Tripping. So I get up, I'm last. And
For the freshman.
I'm last for the freshman. And not to count myself out, but I am no offensive threat in these things. That's not my strong point. That's okay, I know my role. But Scotty whips the ball at me. I caught it in a way that I've never caught something before. It was insane.
The sickest catch ever.
It was literally like I caught the ball up by one hand up by my armpit and run in.
Cradle it.
I faked it. I literally threw a fake. I've never thrown a fake in my life. Threw a fake, ripped it on Max, our practice goalie. He's a men's player. Super awesome. Shout out Max. Ripped it on Max, scored.
It was the best moment.
It was electric.
None of the other freshmen made a goal.
No,
she was the only
one. I was the only one. Because
it was so hard.
Flying around. I celebrated harder than I've ever celebrated anything
It was
in my
her
life.
national
People
championship.
were cheering me on. It was awesome.
We were all screaming.
That was also round one. Like, there were multiple rounds of this, and that was my national championship.
And you got out round two,
that moment.
but that was still the best moment ever.
I literally got out the next round. Scotty realized that he needed to throw it a little bit harder, else I wasn't going to catch it. Rips it at me. It like bounces off my shins. I'm like, oh my god.
I wish we
won
had
that
film.
first round.
I wish we had film of that.
I looked for film of that. Actually, I did because I was so proud of myself. I looked for film. Nope, no film.
Weird that the UNC facility didn't film our practice.
Yeah, weird that the UNC walkthrough didn't, but whatever. But yeah, I think that was just the greatest moment of my life.
Everyone was so excited.
So excited for me. I think it just like, maybe I should do a little better in shooting comps that people wouldn't get so excited for me literally catching a ground ball. But it was absolute. I wish I could relive it. It was absolutely electric.
Yeah, maybe
So
this year
good.
you can
This
win
year.
a shooting comp.
Wow. Anyway,
Next question.
last question.
Aw, shoot.
I know, it's almost time for us to go. One thing that you would say to someone that is struggling with the game, Lucy?
I'm just taking a second to process.
Okay, totally.
Well, first off, just remember how fun lacrosse is and how much it gives you.
Stole my answer.
There's, like, for me at least, like my whole life has been changed because of lacrosse. I know it's dramatic, but it's just like a really, really cool game. And you can watch it at so many different levels and it's still fun and cool. You can play with boys and girls. You can play so many different ways and it's just a really unique game. And so I think just always remembering that and remembering what it is in general. Aside from that, I know like obviously everyone has bad days, bad practices, and just when you're thinking of things that may be negative to yourself, just being like, okay, maybe I got stripped when I was dodging, but maybe that was a really good defender who had a really good play, and just like trying to reframe your mindset, like that wasn't a terrible shot, that was a really good save, and just like trying to like that also empowers the people around you and being like, okay, I'm playing with good people, whatever, I'm gonna not have every goal, not have every pass, whatever. And just remembering that, reframing your mind.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, having fun and, like, really embracing that. But, like, I came from an individual sport and, like, all I wanted to do was be on a team. And just, like, the team that lacrosse gives you and the bond that you get within your teammates and your players is literally, like, something that, like, means so much. And, like, you can't find anywhere else. Like, they're like going to be the best friends for your rest of your life. And I think that's something that's so awesome. But knowing that in order to get better, you have to make mistakes is really hard to hear. And like, it's hard to know, but just embracing your teammates and like, instead of focusing inward on yourself, focus on like all the good things, like you were saying, that other people are doing. So maybe you're having a bad day and you're like super negative and you don't really want to be there, but think, oh my God, like, Lucy just had a sick BTB shot. I'm going to cheer her on.
I missed
and,
both
like,
of mine today. Scrimmage.
She did. I wasn't going to bring that up. But I did, in my head, I was picturing
Yeah,
that when I
know.
said that.
We miss it.
But, like, she took a risk, took a BTB in game. Like, that's awesome. Let's cheer her on.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we talk a lot on our team about playing for your, like, inner child and, like, your little girl that's inside you. And, like, think about you at, like, 5 years old and, like, all that you've accomplished since then and what 5-year-old you would think about where you are now and, like, remembering where you came from and, like, how far you've grown is really important.
And also, it's just a game.
It's just a game.
You're
My mom
supposed to
says
be
that
having
all the
fun.
time. It's just a game.
Last question.
Oh, let's see. What's your favorite thing about me?
Oh, I love answering this.
We
This
talk
is-
about this a
This
lot,
is very
actually.
common on our team. Every time we're like out to dinner, conversations lulling, Carly Mahoney's like, so let's all say what we love about this person. Like,
It does.
It just
does
happens.
happen.
But it's awesome. I love
Yeah.
it. Rosebud Thorn a lot.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kathryn, this is so much pressure now that I have so many people
On
watching.
camera.
I just think you are such an easy person to talk to. You're a really good listener. That's why we chat so much, I think. But you love helping people and listening to people's stories and gaining perspective for them and like giving them perspective on things that they may have not had before. And that's why I love talking to you. And then on the field, you are just such a competitor and you can see in your head constantly you're thinking, okay, what can I do better? And not in like in a negative way, just like even if you had a really good play, you're like, okay, but like still my hand could have been lower and like here, whatever. And it's just really inspiring to see that because you have so much passion for getting better.
Totally.
I like your smile
Oh, thanks.
and that you inspire me with silver jewelry.
Yeah. Anyway, not many silver girls.
And she's a good Dyson girl if you need your hair
Yeah,
done.
I am a hairstylist on the team braider.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing about Lucy, it seems so obvious, but your energy is like so infectious and you're always so happy and like giggly and smiley and laughing. And it's so fun to be around because you just want to be happy too. And you're so positive about everything that you do. And it's so fun to watch. And you also like are so dedicated and invested in so many different areas of your life that even though you're like super into lacrosse, like you also are super into school and like study really hard and you are really into like making new friends and like meeting new people. And it's so interesting how to watch you like dive into new passions and new things. Like Lucy's an avid watercolor painter. Really, she took a yoga class this term. Things like that. Like she just gets like super invested into things and I really love watching that.
That's so nice.
And then on the field, I would say you do a lot of things that are like taking risks and I think even if you don't succeed, like you're like, okay, well I'll do it again. Like I'll try again and do it another day and watching you keep going and keep trying and keep growing is really fun to watch.
Thank you. I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah, Lucy does cry usually during these.
It's just so much.
Also, I really like your style and
We share a lot of clothes.
we do share a lot of clothes.
I went out to dinner last night, fully Kathryn's outfit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was a good outfit though.
Yeah.
And I also wish I had short blonde hair. So totally.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Just do a quick like podcast recap, quick like press conference afterwards.
Okay, totally. Let's debrief.
Yeah.
It's a debrief.
And then once the debrief is done, you can just close it out.
Yeah,
right.
totally. Okay, so we talked about our life story, how we got to Northwestern,
Who we are as people,
our extra years of high school.
/ gap year.
Oh, I thought you were going to keep going off of that one. We did a Q&A.
We talked about our social media impact on this team.
Yes, a very important one.
Some of our favorite memes.
Yeah, that was part of the Q&A.
Sorry.
And our favorite things about each other.
Yep.
That was it.
And now we're debriefing
Yeah.
before the closing. Sorry to jump ahead.
Anyway,
This was the Lake Show podcast. We are your hosts, Lucy Munro,
and Kathryn Welch.
number 33.
Oh, we're still going. Number 15.
And you're watching iCarly.